On the parched land, the ground cracked as if baked by the sun. Deep beneath the soil, a creature waited silently, the Pac-Man frog. It was not dead, just hibernating, a unique survival tactic for amphibians. When the first rains of the season fell, the sound of water droplets hitting the ground was a wake-up call. The frog stirred slightly, then began to break through the dry soil to rise to the surface. A large, mossy frog with round, alert eyes appeared in the mud. This was not just an awakening, but the beginning of a fierce hunting journey. With its stomach empty after weeks of sleep, the frog began to move, slowly but determinedly. It was looking for anything it could get into its mouth, from insects, reptiles, to animals larger than itself. The wet world after the rain was a feast, but also an unforgiving battlefield for survival. And Pac-Man the frog, the predator without teeth or claws, is about to enter a battle of instincts. Just as the Pac-Man frog began its journey, it encountered the most dangerous creature of all, the giant poisonous centipede. With its sinuous reddish-brown body and needle-like legs, the centipede is a nightmare for many species. One bite from it can bring a small buffalo to its knees with its powerful neurotoxin. But the frog showed no fear. It stood still, waiting and watching. This was not a confrontation of strength, but of reaction time and recklessness. As the centipede lunged, its legs hissing and its poisonous jaws opening, the frog suddenly counterattacked. It opened its mouth and swallowed the centipede's entire head, narrowly avoiding the dangerous bite. Once the head was in the frog's mouth, the rest was a useless reflex. The centipede struggled, but was swallowed whole within minutes. The battle was quick, clean, and merciless. Even when faced with the most venomous insect, Pac-Man frog maintains his composure, a fearless predator. In the mud after the rain, lurks a creature that is notoriously slippery, the loach. This fish has the ability to escape as fast as the wind. Its body is long and flexible like buttery noodles. But Pac-Man frogs are no novices. They have the ability to catch the wind, meaning they can predict the direction of the opponent's slithering extremely accurately. When the loach emerges from the mud, just one precise jump ends the chase. The frog uses its tongue to quickly sweep, almost invisible to the naked eye, to capture the fish. The loach tries to slither to escape the frog's jaws, but in just a few more seconds, it's all over. The battle between slippery and solid, between fast and accurate, has come to an end. The loach was once a master of escape, now a nutritious meal. This is a reminder. In the wild, the fastest is not always the last to survive, but someone who can predict and control the game from the first second. As he leaves the muddy swamp, Pac-Man continues his journey and encounters a truly formidable opponent, a snake. 5 times the size of a frog, the snake is venomous, fast, and agile. It slithers across the wet grass like a flying silk ribbon, fast, light, and deadly. Pac-Man cannot run, nor can he hide. There is only one option: fight. It takes a defensive stance, its eyes fixed on the snake's head, the most dangerous part. When the snake strikes, the frog dodges to the side and counterattacks with a precise opening of its mouth. The snake's head is held firmly. A risky move, but the only one that can finish off its opponent. The frog uses its legs to hold the struggling snake's body still, swallowing it bit by bit. The fight drags on. At times it seems like both will be exhausted. But in the end, bravery still wins. And so, the creature that seemed too big became prey, with its own recklessness and precision down to every breath. As dusk falls, creatures that lurk in the shadows begin to emerge, including a giant spider. With its axe-like teeth and 8 lanky legs, it moves with both agility and erraticity. Spiders are masters of stealth, constantly changing their positions, making their enemies dizzy. It can suddenly appear overhead, then disappear into the shadows of a tree in a split second. The Pac-Man frog looks bewildered, but not defeated. It sits still, as if surrendering, but actually waiting for an opportunity. When the spider approaches to strike, the frog suddenly springs up, opens its mouth, and captures its opponent in one motion. The air returns to silence. The hunter is hunted back by its own volition. In nature, there is no room for fascination, only instinct and opportunity. And this time, the opportunity belongs to the frog. In nature, the predators don't always have the upper hand. A Pac-Man frog is surrounded by a swarm of black scorpions, creatures known for their deadly weapons. Each one has large pincers that can snap insects, and a curved tail that contains a nerve-crippling venom. They circle around, moving in sync as if they have their own strategy, closing the circle. The frogs stay on the defensive, lowering their center of gravity, their eyes constantly darting around to keep an eye on each opponent. One misstep and a sting from their tail could be the end. But the Pac-Man frog doesn't panic. It chooses to attack quickly, targeting vulnerable individuals. A quick bite. A scorpion is swallowed before it can counterattack. The scorpions react, but not fast enough to block the next attack. One by one, they were eliminated. Not by brute force, but by strategy and reflexes. When the enemy is numerous and dangerous, composure becomes the ultimate weapon. And Pac-Man once again proves that sometimes character is more important than numbers. After mastering the land, Pac-Man frog enters a completely different environment, underwater. Here, a new enemy awaits, a giant catfish with a muscular body and razor-sharp fins. Catfish are a species that can slither quickly, change direction extremely flexibly, and have the ability to attack unexpectedly from all sides. With its larger size and superior speed, it seems to have no opponents in the pond environment. But Pac-Man frog does not falter because of that. It keeps a safe distance, carefully observing every move of the catfish. When the fish rushes, the frog does not dodge immediately, but waits for the right moment to counterattack. A jump, with just enough force, at just the right angle, helps it dodge to the side and grab the fish's head with its mouth. The force of the bite makes the fish unable to struggle. The frog takes advantage of the locking position, using its hind legs to hold the prey like clamps. In just a few minutes, the seemingly invulnerable creature became food. This battle showed that no matter the environment, the survival instinct, if sharp enough, can still bring the weaker party to victory. After a grueling hunt, the Pac-Man frog's body begins to slow down. It no longer searches for prey, but instead moves slowly through shallower, calmer waters. This is when the reproductive instinct kicks in, signaling an important stage in the life cycle. Male frogs begin to make deep, resonant calls to their mates. The calls echo far and wide like an invitation. In the humid swamp environment, a series of individuals mate at the same time and leave their eggs. The tiny